Hello everyone, you are welcome to this class. So in this video, we want to continue from where we stopped on variation. So we've talked about direct variation and indirect variation, which is also called inverse variation. But today, in this video, we want to look at joint variation. So we have about 3 examples that we want to solve that under joint variation. So after that, we then move to partial variation in the next video. Now, the first example we have, and then before we go look at the example, under joint variation is when you are combining two sets of variation, types of variation. It could be either combining direct variation and inverse variation, or inverse variation and direct variation first, or you are combining direct variation and direct variation. That is, you have two direct variations there, or you have two inverse of variations. Hope I'm with you. So in this, we will be having at least 3 variables. We'll be having at least how many variables? 3 variables. So the same process of doing, once you have understood the direct variation and inverse variation, this joint variation should not give you problem at all. So that's why I have about 3 examples that I think if once you're able to understand these 3 examples I want to give you, so there's no question that they can give you that you won't be able to solve if you understand. So that's the reason why you need to pay attention to details in this video and make sure you watch the video till the end without skipping any part. All right, so let's get started. So we have R varies directly as the square of S and inversely proportional as the root of t. You can see we have direct relation and what? Inverse relation. Being combined and more. So R, so this is what we're going to do. R varies directly as the what? Square of S. That is S squared. And inversely means what? 1 over inversely proportional as the root of t. That is square root of what? T. That's the interpretation of it. So the and there means we're going to multiply. So in this case, we then concluded R. So we change the variation symbol to what? Equals to K, then S squared. S squared times 1 is S squared, divided by what? Square root of what? T. So that is, we have changed it to what? To equation. So let's now look at the question given to us. Given that S, that is S, equals to 2.5 and R equals to 10, then T equals to 625. Find the value of the what? Constant. That's the first thing. Find the value of the constant. Whether you are told to find the value of the constant or not, you must find the value of the constant. Whether you are told to find the formula connecting the variables or not, you must find the formula connecting the variables. So if they don't call it formula, they call it equation. They call it a relationship between the variables. So then we find that. So let's put the value of these variables into this and find the value of our constant. So R is 10, that is 10 equals K, we don't know K, times S. S is 2.5 squared. Don't forget the square on the S. Divided by square root of what? 625. So we find, use our calculator to find this. So 2.5 squared gives us 6.25. So this would then be what? 10 equal to 6.25K divided by square root of 625, which is 25. Right. So which is 25. And you can cross multiply here. You have 6.25K equals to 10 times what? 25. Divide both sides by what? 6.25. 6.25. So therefore, K equals to 250 divided by 6.25. 250 divided by 6.25. So therefore, K here, therefore K will then be divided by 6.25 gives us 25. How this is clear? So 250 divided by 6.25, that is Sorry, that is 40. That is 40. Is that clear? So k is equal to 40. We find the value of our constant. So the next thing is to write out the formula connecting the what? The variables. So we are not going to put the value of the constant in this equation. So formula connecting the variables. We then be what? So we have it to be r equals to k, which is 40, then s squared divided by square root of what? C. So this is the formula connecting what? The variables. I hope this is very clear. All right. So the next is find r when s. So b now, that is a. So find value of, that's a. B, find r. We don't know the value of r when s is 5. S is equal to 5 and t equal to what? 64. So we make use of this. So r is what we're looking for. 40 times s, that is 5 squared, divided by square root of what? 64. So which means 40 times 25 divided by what? 8. 8 here 1, 8 here what? 5. So 5 times 25 gives us r equals to 125. I hope this is very clear. Okay, the next one is find s. Find s. Find s. So we're looking for s. S, when r is this, is 150, and the t is what? 36. So we still make use of this. So that will be r, which is 150, equals 40 multiplied by s squared. S is what we're looking for. Then square root of what? 36. So this will give us 150 equals to 40 s squared over what? 6. So we can cross multiply here. So this will mean 40 s squared equals to what? 6 times 150. So divide both sides by 40 by 40. This cancels this. That means s squared. That means s squared equals to 0 cancel what? 0 here. 2 here 2. 2 here what? 3. So 3 times 15 is 45. All over what? 2. So 45 divided by 2 gives us s squared equals to 22.5. So that means the square, we are not looking for s squared, we are looking for x. We don't stop here. So that means find the square root of both sides. That will be s equals to square root of what? 22.5. So we do the square root of 22.5, and that gives s will then equals to what? 4.743. So this is the answer to the question. I can see this is also straightforward. So let's look at another question. This is the second example that we have here. So let's start the solution here. Right? So W varies directly as the square of V and varies inversely as what? T. I'll tell you the difference between this and the other question, the first question. So let's have this. W varies directly as what? Square of V, that is V squared, and inversely as what? As T. So here, you notice that the denominator here is not having root. Now, let's now change this to W equals to K V squared divided by what? T. Divided by T. Now, if you look at this question, calculate. So the question is when W is 600, V is equal to 150, and T is equal to 30. So the next one is calculate V when W is 800 and T is equal to 40. You can see in this question, they don't ask you to find the constants, they don't ask you to find what the formula connecting the variables. But you must do those things first before you can do this one. So that is the essence of this first statement here. So when W is 600, V is 150, and T is what? 30. So we now put this variable. So W is 600, V is 150, and T is what? 30. So it is this that we put here to find the value of our constant. So in that case, this will be 600 equals to K multiplied by V, which is 150 squared. Everything divided by what? 30. I hope I'm making sense. So from here now, so we can have cross multiplying here. So we have 150 squared. 150 squared gives us 22,500K equal to 600 times 30. 600 multiplied by 30. That gives us 18,000. So we just divide both sides by 22,500. 22,500. So divide it, divided by 22,500. And that gives us K will then be equal to 0.8. We can have it this way, or we have turned into fraction. We don't need that. So what we're going to do next, is to write out the relationship. So we just put the value here. That would then be W equals to K, which is 0.8, V squared all over T. So if you are working with objective question and you have this type of question and you cannot find this, just convert this 0.8 to decimal, to fraction. That will be 8 over 10, which is equal to 4 over 5. So in that case, this would then be written as W equals to, since 4 over 5, that will be 4V squared all over what? 5T. I hope this is very clear. So you can have it that way. So that I will not say, no, how am I going to get this? No. We have space here. Let me write it here. So that W equals to 4V squared all over what? 5T. So is that clear now? So that is that. So we now move to question A now. The question A asks us to calculate the V, the value of V. Calculate V when W is 800 and T is equal to what? 40. So we are looking for V. V equals to question mark. W is 800 and then T is equal to what? 40. So we make use of this now. So that will be W, which is 800, equals to 4 multiplied by V squared. V is what we are looking for, V squared, divided by 5T. 5 multiplied by T, which is 40. I hope this is clear. So we can then divide. 4 can go here, 4 can go here, 10. So which means V squared equals to 800 multiplied by what? 50. 5 times 10, 50. Right. So we can multiply this at 5 times 8 is 40. Then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right. So in this case, we can find the square root. So we just find the square root of 40,000. Square root of 40,000, which will give us what? 400. So 200. No. Not 200. This one's 100. This is 2. Yes, this is 200. So let's have square root of 40,000. So that is 200. So V equals what? 200. Then P, calculate T when W is 1,600. That is, W is 1,600 and V is what? 250. Then we are looking for what? T. So we still make use of this as well. So what we're going to have here, we're going to have W, which is 1,600, equals to 4 multiplied by V, which is 250. Don't forget the V squared all over T, 5T. All over 5T. Right? So let's see what we're going to have. So what we're going to do here, let me see if we have a space here. Alright, so let's use this time. Let's use it to complete that. So we'll multiply this by this. Right. So that will give us 1,600 times 5. 1,600 multiplied by 5, and that gives us 8,000 T. 8,000 T equals 4 multiplied by, so let's perform that, 250 squared times 4. That gives us 250,000. 250,000. Divide both sides by 8,000. By 8,000. This cancels this. So T equals to 0 cancel what? 0. That is 250,000 divided by 8,000. And that gives us 31.25. I hope this is very clear. So that is that on the question number 2. So let's look at one more example before we call it a day. Third and the last question in this video. So we have the current I flowing through a conductor varies directly. So that means I varies directly as the velocity v, and as the cross-sectional area A, can you see, of the conductor. So we have interpreted it. So don't be scared with the wordings. So just pick the most important aspect of the question. The current I, that is, they're saying I varies directly as V and directly as what? A. That's what it means. So from here we can then interpret this to be I equals to KVA. Right. For a certain conductor of cross-sectional area of this, that is area of this, that is A, is 250 millimeter squared. The current flowing is given as the current, which is I, that is I equals to what? 5.5. At 10 millimeter per second, that is velocity, equals to what? 10 mm per second. Is that clear? So in that case, ampere again, right? So let's find an equation connecting I, V, and A. So we're going to look for what constant here. So that is going to be I, which is 5.5, equals to K, we don't know, multiplied by V, which is 10, multiplied by A, which is what, 250. Right? So that means this means 5.5 equals to what? 2,500 K. Divided by what? Divide both sides by 2,500. 2,500. So this we cancel this. Then we have K equals to, so 5.5 divided by 2,500. 5.5 divided by 2,500. And that gives 0.0022. Alright, so that is that. Is that clear? So that is the value of the constant is 0.0022. We found this. Then the next one is find the equation connecting. So the equation will then be what? We put this here. That is current equals to 0.0022 VA. This is the relationship. This is the equation connecting them. Then the last one, which is B here, is find V when I is 12. So we're looking for V. I is 12, and the A is 450. We still make use of this. So I, which is 12, equals to 0.0022 times V. V is what we are looking for, times A, which is what? 450. So that means 450 times 0.0022, and that gives us 0.99 V. 12. Divide both sides by 0.99. 0.99. This cancels this. Then V will then be equals to 12 divided by 0.99, and that gives us 12.12. That is 12.12 millimeter per second. So that is that on this. So that's the end of this video. That's everything you need to know on that joint variation. So stay tuned for the next video on partial variation, which is the last part of the types of variation that we talked about in our first video. So if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you put on your notification bell, so anytime I release video like this, you'll be able to benefit from it. And if you find this video useful and helpful, don't forget to give us a very big thumb up, and make sure you share this video with your loved ones. Then put in the comment section what you have found useful here, and if you find any question that you want us to solve for you, so you can just put it in the comment section. They will surely make a video for you on the question. So bye for now.